Hello, it's your professional sarcastic man and seeker of attention, Oz Chris, here with a review on Saban's Power Rangers Soul of the Dragon. Correction here, Hasbro owns it, so Hasbro's Power Rangers. I'm just messing around. But yes, technically I am kind of right. Hasbro does now own Power Rangers, but I'm guessing this was still obviously made by when Saban was still owned it. I mean, it's still technically a Saban created Power Rangers, so I'd guess it'd still be called Saban's Power Rangers. But enough about who owns Power Rangers or not. We'll hear about this graphic novel, Soul of the Dragon, written by Kyle Higgins, who helped kickstart the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comics with in Boom Studios. The first main writer, he's no longer doing it anymore. He moved on after Shadow Grid. It's now written by Marguerite Bennett, who's been doing actually a pretty good job. I still prefer Kyle Higgins, but she's been doing a pretty good job so far with her story. We'll see how it goes in the end. But he did a graphic novel called Soul of the Dragon, and it's about everyone's favorite Tommy Oliver. Now, I like Tommy, but he is a overrated and overhyped character. He's not the best Ranger of all time. I'm gonna give that to Wes, the Red Time Force Ranger. He's my absolute favorite. He's the best Ranger, one of the best Red Rangers as well. So, I like Tommy, but he gets too much attention. There's more. There's more Rangers that are definitely better than Tommy. But apart from that, I really enjoyed this. This was really good. It was a kind of a swan song and end to Tommy's time as a Power Ranger. So the main premise is pretty much Tommy is now an old man. As you can see, he's rocking the old man Logan cosplay. Old man Tommy, if you would say. He's old. Him and Kat, if you remember Kat, she was the second pink Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. She was the pink Zeo Ranger 1, and she was the first pink Turbo Ranger. And she was Tommy's second girlfriend, and in this, his wife. And they've raised a son together, JJ, who has enrolled in SPD, SPD from Power Rangers SPD. So what this graphic novel does well is working with the continuity of Power Rangers, like the whole. It's in the future, so of course, SPD is in the future, so of course the SPD is going to be a thing in this series, and his son has enrolled into it. They're Earth's kind of main line of defense now. Space Patrol, Delta, they're dealing with alien threats, and so as forth. So, but the main premise is that Tommy is pretty much almost retired as a Power Ranger. He suffered a major injury that required surgery and cybernetic attachments to it to help him. And his Master Morpher, something that was introduced in the recent-ish anniversary in Ninja Steel, a Morpher that allows him to transform into each of his Ranger forms. Each of his Ranger forms. Black Dino, Red Turbo, Red Zeo, White Ranger, Green Ranger. Something that only he has, of course. That's damaged, so it can't work properly. And, everyone's kind of moving on with their life. Tommy's just keeping to himself. Kat has gone for, a job at Treforia, which is, the planet where the original Zeo Gold Ranger powers came from. So there's it works very well with the continuity of Power Rangers. There's a lot of references, a lot of callbacks, which I definitely appreciated. Though this kind of worked much better as an anniversary than the Ninja Steel anniversary, All Super Mega Force. It does, a few references and all the callbacks to previous series moments, whatever. Not just with Tommy, but like I said, with SPD. SPD being a thing in this. The character Sky, the Blue Ranger from the series, appears, but I'm the plot. Okay, the plot. I keep on with all these references. I keep forgetting about the plot. Okay, so the main plot is that something happens to JJ, to Tommy's son. He goes missing, and one of his friends, Anara, seeks Tommy's help. She heard about Tommy's time as a ranger, and he's JJ's father. Who better to help look for him? And as such, as the situation unfolds, Tommy has to resort to using the Master Morpher one more time, but it's in a locked function, so he's going back from like most recent power to the first ever power he got. So pretty much in this order, so reverse order of like the ranges that he has been. And after each use, the power coin that uses that power, that has that power, contains that power, is destroyed. So little by little, one of the main things that made him who he is disappearing. So as I said, it is a kind of a the end game, the swan song of Tommy's time as a ranger, giving everything up to investigate what's going on and to save his son. Definitely, I will say I really like the art in this book. The by oh shit, I'm gonna I'm gonna fuck up this name. Giuseppe Cafaro, and colored by Marcelo Costa. They do a very great job with the art and the coloring. I don't think there's any part of the art or the coloring that I didn't like. It was amazing. Like Carl Higgins' writing, loved it. Been loving his Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comics since the inception of it. And like I said, this is a good book. A lot of callbacks, a lot of references. It perfectly ends Tommy's time as a ranger. Although, to be fair, this is Power Rangers. Once a ranger, always a ranger. They always somehow Deus Ex Machina bring back a power. Pretty much like his Zeo Ranger powers, I don't know. Turbo, technically, he passed those on, so he can't really be Turbo anymore. Although, to be fair, Kat was Turbo in that Ninja Steel anniversary, despite the fact that she also passed on her powers. You know, the whole power thing, constantly swapping. They never fully address it, and sometimes it's confusing. But anyway, a good end to Tommy's time as a ranger. Despite knowing the risks of having to use a damaged morpher, he risks it anyway in order to save his son. And I'm going to spoil some bits here. So, in the end, his son JJ uses the last of the power. It's kind of a great passing on the torch. JJ's supposed to represent the new generation, so it's a good way of doing that by having him use the last of his father's ranger powers, and coincidentally being the first one Tommy ever became, the Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So definitely like that. Definitely loved it. I absolutely, despite the fact I believe Tommy is a very overhyped character, even though I like him, despite the fact he's an overhyped character, I kind of disappeared, and I absolutely love this. Definitely pick this up. This is worth the read, worth the money. And that is all. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.